I want two things right now. I want my games to be fun, and I want the intros to these videos to be shorter. GKR Heavy Hitters was designed by Hyra and published by Cryptozoic and Weta Workshop, and the art was done by, hold on, there's a couple guys here, Leri, Greer, Pearce, Paul M. Tobin. The point of a board game is to be fun, whether it's sitting around a table with friends, making your brain think a certain way, telling an epic story, or fighting giant mechs against each other in an epic landscape of destroyed buildings. There are many elements that make a game fun, whether it's the mechanisms, whether it's the components, whether it's the theme, whether it's player interaction, or it's how the art and visual design brings you into a game. The art in this game is at a professional level, and of course it is. It's Weta Workshop. Really, I wouldn't expect anything less. Every component that you see, every piece of art is just so great. Fine details, really brings you into this world. The Kickstarter videos that they produced were amazing, and it really brought you into that world. The animations, this whole aspect of this high level of art, and how it's consistent through the whole experience. I love when publishers and game designers put the effort into it, and Weta Workshop, of course, is no exception. One fun aspect of this game is the theme, and that's emphasized with the fun art. Everything from the story that's unfolding as you play this game, the attacks that you're doing are done with these cards, and you can see the illustrations there showing what's happening and showing the story unfold. You see the positions of your mech as they're attacking with this certain type of weapon, and you can just see it in your mind, and that's what brings a lot of the fun in this game, is that fun of imagining what's happening, and it's displayed right in front of you, and it makes that connection in your brain to your imagination and what's happening on the table. It connects those two, and I think that's such a powerful statement that this art is able to make. Of course, the big part of this game is the player experience that you're having and the fun that that brings, right? So the question is, what part of an experience makes something fun? It's not heavy on the rules. There is a lot going on at times, but it's really easy to see how the rules flow with each other. I love the table presence of this game. I love the importance of that, where you're walking into the game room and you see it set up and your interest is piqued because you see these beautiful mechs, these beautiful miniatures, and these three-dimensional buildings. And you're like, wow, this looks fantastic. I want to be involved with whatever's happening on the table. And it's this experience of setting up the game and just seeing it in front of you, being able to play it and maneuver around and manipulate the board with your hands, and you're physically picking things up and placing them down. Now, I know that applies to a lot of games, to most games, of course, but instead of just cubes, instead of just these small things, which of course have their place in different games, in these ones, it takes your whole hand to move your piece across the board. I love that. I love that connection, that emotional response, which I like to talk about in games, how it brings that importance into the gameplay. I think that is such a crucial part to this game. And what's great is that it's supported by wonderful gameplay. It's not just giant miniatures sake for giant miniatures sake. I don't know if that makes sense. But there is this importance of gameplay supported by these amazing components, both equally fun. And that is always a fun balance to find in a game. One thing I find a lot of fun in this game is actually teaching it to other players. I love seeing their face as they see how things are going to unfold in front of them. I love seeing how they start to interact with the pieces and how it brings them into that world and gets them excited to play. That's one thing I think this game does really well, is it gets people invested and interested into what's playing. It connects them to their pieces. The physicality of these pieces really brings a lot into the experience. The players are able to manipulate the board to position them behind buildings, and you see people actually like move around the board to see where they want to move, and they get invested in it. It's impossible to not make sounds while you're playing this game. You know, as you play cards to shoot your weapons, you're like, beep, beep, beep. I don't know what sounds you make, but those are the sounds my mechs make. A big aspect of fun for this game is the theme immersion. As you're able to connect yourself to this world through the gameplay, through playing the cards, through strategically maneuvering those small helper mechs, what that does is it creates this emotional connection to this game. You're able to invest mentally deeper into it, and it connects you to that world. It makes it such a richer, deeper experience because you're able to connect mentally into what's happening, and you invest that in mentally, and it really just helps you connect everything together with the theme, with the experience, with the gameplay, the components. Everything just starts to blend together, and it's beautiful. One thing that's very strong in this game is the ease of building your deck before the game. And it's not really optional. You have to choose these cards that you want to put into your deck. And what it does is it makes it yours. It makes that mech, that giant mech that you have in front of you, it's yours. And what happens to your mech actually matters because you've put this time into thinking about how you're going to build your mech, what weapons you're going to use, what reactions you want to use, things like that, and you get emotionally involved and invested in your mech. And I love how that adds to the experience, where it's not just, I guess I'll move my guy here and shoot, oh well, I've been hit, that doesn't matter. It's, oh man, I chose these cards and they came out at the perfect time and I was able to shoot that other mech and do all this damage to it, and things just happen beautifully, and you get frustrated when things aren't going the way that you planned, but it's okay because it's really easy to maneuver and to pivot and to just get invested with what's happening on the table. Overall, I love the emphasis on fun, but it's not at the sacrifice of gameplay, and that is what's beautiful. I love how everything's just blended together so well. I love how the attention to detail on the miniatures is duplicated on the attention to detail on the gameplay itself. I had high expectations for this game because it is produced by Weta Workshop, and I was not disappointed. It makes me so excited to see what they do in the future. I hope they continue to make board games. I hope they could potentially add to this. I'm just excited to see more from them. I'm Jacob Russell, and this is the Gamer Curator. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more like this, please subscribe to my channel and also reach out to me on social media. I'm at the Gamer Curator. Thank you so much.